Hi, I'm Jill Gilliland, president of Melnic. We recruit APRNs and PAs throughout the United States for hospitals and clinics. And this week we're excited because our salary survey is coming out. I'll show you in a few minutes how you can receive it to help you as you're either a nurse practitioner or PA trying to understand how to negotiate for salary, or if you're hiring a nurse practitioner or PA, you'll have a guide. This is a section I want to highlight to you today on bonuses and how bonuses are calculated. And right here, we have a link to this resource on a pro forma for nurse practitioners and PAs. This is the pro forma that you can download, or that you can download, and it's designed to help you look at the cost benefit of having a nurse practitioner or PA in your practice, as well as to look at different kind of bonus structures that you might offer them. All the orange values are inputs. They would be numbers that you would put in based on your particular situation. All the other numbers are calculated, but the green ones are the ones we're highlighting. So if a nurse practitioner or PA worked, we're going to call them an APP, an advanced practice provider. But if an APP worked 4 days a week and saw 20 patients a day, and if they had 6 weeks off, so they would be working 46 weeks, that's the value populated here, they would see 3,680 visits a year. If they had a starting salary of $90,000, and again, you can input that value, and then if their benefits were 22% of total compensation, that works out to benefits of $25,000. Their total compensation is $115,000. That's the cost to you and your practice. We have some other assumptions here. If the average charge per visit is $120, and if you collected 70%, again, you can input that value, then you would be collecting an average of $84 per visit. So the first year, we assume that they would see half the number of patients that they would normally see. You could calculate that. We put 0.5. You could change that to 0.6 or 0.7 of what a full patient load is. One thing we'd want to point out is in particular, if they're a new grad, that they do need time to get up and running. We have a lot of resources for you and the nurse practitioners on our site. We have the Learning Center for the nurse practitioners and PAs to find a whole bunch of resources that are valuable to them. We have an employer section for you as a hiring manager, if that's what your role is. And within that, we have an employer blog that links to a number of resources. One of those is called 9 Steps to an Effective Physician Assistant or Nurse Practitioner Orientation. And we lay out all the things that you'd like to think of when you bring them on a new nurse practitioner or PA into your practice. Two of the most important things are a gradual patient load and how much time you give them. So say we're back here and they're going to see 20 patients a day. They may see 4 patients or 5 patients initially in the first 2-3 weeks. And the rest of the day, they shadow you. At the end of the day, they meet with you. They go over what their recommendations and plan of care is for the patient. And then if you have any suggestions for them, they can call the patient back and make any modifications. And you gradually work your way up to this full patient load. So that's why we calculate it at 50%. So if we move their link to their salary, we calculated overhead at $24,000. That will be whatever number you enter in here would then be multiplied by 12 months. So this is an overhead per month. If you provided $1,500 in continuing education, licensing another $1,000, and that may be part of this 22%, so those may be zero. You have total expenses of $141,000. So your margin per APP was $154 minus $141, or $12,000 the first year at 50%. And then if average collections are $84 and we calculated annual break-even visits at 1,689, and this is, if either way, if they're seeing full patient load or not. Weekly break-even visits is 37, so 9 visits a day is the break-even amount. So over here, if they're seeing a full patient load and their gross revenues are 441,000 at 70%, that's 309. With the same expenses, you now have a margin of 167,000 per nurse practitioner. So now what we did is say, what if we give them a bonus? What if the bonus is a dollar amount per patient seen over the break even? So if they're seeing 20 patients a day and you take 20 minus 9, and you calculate that on a weekly basis, their bonus would be $433 a week. And then you multiply that annually, their total compensation goes up to $135,000, which is competitive, which is very competitive. Our salary survey says the salary on average is $120,000 per nurse practitioner PA. So with benefits, you may come out a little bit lower, but that's a good number. So if we take the new compensation amount out of your margin is now 147,000 after you pay a bonus. So this is a good calculator and a good way for you as a hiring manager to think about a bonus, or as a nurse practitioner or PA to think about how would you ever propose a bonus to your employer and make it something that you could both understand. So this is a tool available for you. It may be conceptual. You may think about it some other way. You may do a bonus just a straight percent of this margin. Say it was 10%, then that would come out to an extra $16,700 a year. So there's different ways to calculate a bonus, but we wanted to give you just a basic idea of one way to do that. All right, well, thank you very much. And what you can find our salary survey on our site. You just go to salary survey. It's free. You need to take the salary survey, or if you're an employer, just let me know and I will send it to you for free. Or you can take it, but take it as a nurse practitioner or a PA in your practice and use those numbers. Otherwise, we'll just go ahead and send it to you. So thank you very much, and have a great day. Appreciate it.